Hey, welcome back. David with FrontPorchFamily.com, and today I'm here with Austin Tunnell. And Austin and I are going to talk a little bit about his new business, his home building business. So tell us about yourself and what you do and the name of your company and all that kind of stuff.
Cool. My name is Austin. Thanks for having me here. And I recently started a company, Building Culture, building structural masonry homes.
Awesome. And you are in partnership with somebody.
Yes, I work with Daryl Nieto. We're kind of in the same business, but we each have our own unique product and run our own brands, but we also collaborate on everything as well.
Awesome. And then you got here by way of many different places, I'm assuming, if you were on a Peace Corps. Just rewind it all the way back. Tell us where it started.
1, I used to be an accountant, like a CPA.
Seriously?
2, I hated my life. So, 3, I quit my job and moved to Panama to work for a company trying to build the world's most sustainable modern town. There, I met a guy named Clay Chapin. But before anything happened there, I wanted to pursue another dream and went off to the Peace Corps and spent 2 years in Uganda. And that's also where I happened to meet my beautiful wife, Sarah.
Nice.
So we got back home from the U.S., we got engaged, and we had a whole 5-week engagement.
Wow.
And it started at 8 months and got, back down to 5 weeks. So I was pretty happy about that, but still a little displeased at how long I had to wait. And then I gave Clay Chapman a call, that guy I'd met at Kalu Yala in Panama a few years earlier, and said, hey, I want to come work for you. And so he said, come on out and do a trial week. And so 2 weeks after we were married, I came out here, and we haven't left, and it's been a little over 2 years now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What a good story to tell your kids. How'd you end up in Oklahoma? Well, I hated my job.
Don't quit your job, kids. Yeah, not when you're gonna. My parents had a little bit of that.
Make sure you have a plan before you quit your job. Yeah. Anyway, good. We kind of know, but tell us a little bit more about your apprenticeship with Clay. How that basically turned you from an accountant into a home builder.
Yeah, well, the apprenticeship with Clay is pretty special. It's not, super official. It's pretty organic how it happens. And I think I was actually his second apprentice, and he's had one other since then, so there have been 3 total. But when you come on board, we do everything. We came when this house right here that we're sitting in had just been started. So me and a couple other guys laid all the brick in this house. We did, we just built a home. We put the roof on, put the windows in, did, some of the trim, timber framed a porch. And so you really just learn by doing. And on top of that, we're constantly, talking, and is philosophizing a word? We're always, talking.
So is it one of those things, like as you're building you're massing a wall.
Yeah.
Is he sitting there? Is he correcting you along the way, saying, "No, you can't do that. You've got to do it like this," and you take a whole wall down and start over?
I've definitely taken a number of things down, but actually one of the really cool things about working with Clay is he seems to understand that people just have to try something before you can correct them. And so I remember my first day, he was teaching me how to lay brick and just said, hey, we need to start this wall. And it was going to be kind of hidden somewhere. It was below grade. And so he just kind of showed me a few things and then left me for like an hour. And then he came back, and asked me some questions and said, okay, here, let me give you a few more tidbits, and then left me again. And he came back and gave me a few more tidbits. So it was that, I was finally, because I was able to do it, I was able to understand what he was saying a little bit more than if you just come and say, do this, 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 and this, and this, and I've never done it before.
Right.
So I think a lot of it was like that, where it's just you do, you tweak, you do a little more, you tweak.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning from him, even though I'm not an apprentice anymore. I'm constantly asking him questions. And
we did an interview with Clay a month or so ago, and we posted it on FrontPorchFamily.com. Go look at it. He is an interesting guy.
Oh my gosh!
He is a Renaissance man. He seems, when you talk to him, like he's very complex, but he's pretty simple at the same time. There's just little things make him happy, and that's what's so interesting about Clay.
It's true.
He's an awesome guy. So
yes.
Yeah. What is your vision for building in Carlton Landing, and then tell us why?
One of my favorite quotes is from Winston Churchill. He said, "First we shape our buildings, and afterwards they shape us." And I love that quote because I think that everything we create has a value system associated with it, and buildings do too. But, buildings carry, in my opinion, a greater weight because of their sheer size and scale and the fact that we interact with them on a daily basis, whether we want to or not.
Right.
And so really when we build our homes and our towns and our neighborhoods and cities, we're setting the stage for our lives. And so these buildings and these places, they are taking on the values that we put into them. They're preserving them and perpetuating them and reflecting them back to us. And so we're really creating the context for our own lives. And can be a little concerning to me because I look around and I'm like, what are the value systems going into our building? And I look and I see, bigger, faster, cheaper, faux. It's really about creating the illusion of something, the illusion of beauty or the illusion of community or the illusion that this suburban neighborhood is connected with nature, or the illusion that we're just wealthier or richer than we really are. And I think time reveals the true nature of all things. And I think we're seeing that now. Like when I look at America in 2017, I see one of the unhealthiest generations in American history. 1/3 of kids born after 2000 are going to be diagnosed with diabetes. We are having issues with soil depletion because of our agro-industrial, monoculture farms. We're depleting our aquifers at alarming rates. The partisan politics, the energy and precious resources, and climate change and global warming. I mean, it's like, things are pretty chaotic. But what I find most perplexing is that we're not trying to do anything different.
Right.
We're not trying to change anything. We just slap a superlative on it and try to keep perpetuating the same illusion. We start saying luxury this or signature that or premium. Premium is one of it seems like our culture's favorite words. And I'm kind of like, what just happened to good? What happened to plain, simple good? So when I think of building, that's what I want to do. I want to build something that's just simple and good and authentic and real. And I think those qualities will produce something far more beautiful and enduring than any kind of premium gimmick. And so I know that was a little bit of a rant, but I have great hope in, I guess, the possibilities, because humans do have such a great capacity to shape, our environment and to change. And so I see building as that opportunity. I mean, through building, we can't fix anyone or fix society or force people to be different or good, but we can provide the ingredients that are necessary for a thriving world. We can give people the opportunity to flourish.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm in building, and that's why I'm here in Carlton Landing. Yeah.
Good answer. That's a good answer. It seems like we're headed down a road that it's going to take. It's kind of like a ship. I mean, it's a 2-degree or a 3-degree turn, and by the time you make that 2-degree turn, I mean, at some point you're going to end up going back the other direction which you were going, right?
Yeah.
So if you and Clay and Daryl are all heading down that road, and I'm sure there's other people out there doing the same thing, that shift is happening.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it inspires me to hear you go on this rant. It's good stuff.
I like it because it's not about forcing, or I try not to go on rants too often.
Right.
But it's about offering just an alternative, and that's kind of what we're doing. Is we just build something, and I think it's going to be compelling enough that people just choose it. Right.
Well, I mean,
it's not about forcing.
Until I met you and Clay and Wes and all the other guys, Patrick, I had no idea.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because nobody has ever taught me
you
about mass wall construction. Yeah. Right. What differentiates your houses in Carlton Landing from the other people that are building here? Give me some specifics about what you guys are doing that are a little bit different. You can include some values that you have in your building business, whatever you want to do.
Okay. First of all, I'm building structural masonry, so our walls are a foot thick of just pure brick and mortar. The outside is exposed brick, the inside interior walls are exposed brick. So that's kind of the biggest thing right there, rather than building 2x4 walls and filling it with foam and putting, sheathing on it and wrapping it in paper, to keep the water out and then putting, siding on it and painting it and all that. I mean, these are just two materials that are incredibly durable. I mean, it's one of the oldest building methods known to mankind. And one of the cool things to me about brick is the reason the brick is the size that it is to fit the human hand. Like, that's why it is the size that it is. And so it's such, not only is clay a very human element, like we've all dug our hands into soil and into clay. I mean, since the beginning of time, really, planting things, whatever. So you're creating your house out of this material that humans are intimately connected to.
Sure.
And I mean, we really try to stick to as many natural materials as possible. Brick, or I guess clay, tiles, whatever. Stone and wood. And it's not that we don't use other things. We bring other, metals and 21st century technology into our homes to try to build, something that's taking the best of the old and the new. And some of the other things that we do is, like, the paints that we use are what's called a lime wash. And it's literally just crushed limestone that's been burnt, crushed, and rehydrated. And you can add natural pigments to it, and you just put it on the wall. And what's awesome is it's not like an acrylic paint that, just covers the wall and basically you're covering in plastic. It seeps into the wall and has a chemical reaction and sets. And lime has properties, it's antifungal, it is antiseptic, it has a double refraction to it, so one light wave hits it and it splits off two. So it gives it this soft, earthy glow, and you can still see the brick through it. And when it gets wet, the color of the brick starts coming through again, and as it dries, it goes back to more opaque. So your house is kind of always changing, like when it rains and gets wet and starts drying out at different rates, your house is always kind of in flux and changing, which I think is awesome. And the cool thing about lime is you can only use it on porous materials like brick, stone, stuff like that. So you couldn't put it on hardy plank.
So where do you use the lime?
On the inside walls, and actually on this house I'm building right now, I think I'm going to do it on the outside as well. So you're going to have a white brick house while still maintaining the look of the brick. Well, it will actually kind of wear off over time. But what's cool about it doesn't like peel off and look bad and need to be repainted. It kind of wears at different rates, and you get the brick to start come through a little bit more, and it gives it this really awesome aged antique look to it naturally. And if you want to paint another thing over it, you can. That's great. But
cool.
So
awesome. Did not know that. Good stuff. And what's next? What's going on in 2018?
Gotcha. We were building what's called the Bend. It's a pocket neighborhood. What that means is we purchased what was supposed to be, we purchased 3 lots that was supposed to be for 3 homes. We've kind of redone it, and we're putting 6 homes on it with a shared community space. So the houses don't really have yards, but they have a large common courtyard and even kind of a more private courtyard in the rear that's nestled into the back and has a fire pit and pergola and tables and all that for kind of social gatherings. And it's a pretty cool concept. I'm really excited about it. So we just broke ground on the first house. We're halfway through massing it up, and we're going to get started on the other stuff pretty quick. Our hope is to be completely done by November 2018 on that project. So
that's not
we're
long.
moving along.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I'm both excited and terrified on most days.
You started that November 1st, right? Of this year?
November 13th
was the first brick.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for you. How do we find you?
My website is a good way, www.buildingculture.com.
Okay.
You can also Facebook and Instagram. I technically have a Twitter, but I just don't use Twitter. So Facebook or Instagram or my website.
Okay, what's your Instagram handle?
Building Culture. It is. Sometimes names are taken up. I think it was on Facebook. It's like build_culture, but I think if you just type in Building Culture, you'll find it. And also my website has links to both Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And I try to do video blogs on the website, but it's still pretty new, so I don't have that much.
Yeah, it takes time. Believe me. Yeah, I'm with you. So I will post Austin's contact information down below this video, and then you can reach out to him, and you can always reach out to us if you want to get together and talk about buying a home. We'd love to show you those houses. So, but cool. Thanks for the time. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
It was an education. That was good stuff.
Thanks.
You did well.
I love this. I love building.
Good. So. You should. You're good at it.
Cool.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.